Hi everyone, I'm Patrick from Eramosa Engineering, and welcome to this video tutorial on how to add comments to your reports. We're going to take a look at how you can create comments that will be associated with tags that are in your report, and how you can either display them alongside your report viewer or have them actually show up in the reports themselves in their own separate grid. So we'll start off, we're at the main screen on the report viewer screen. So we'll just go up to the navigation bar, and because we're going to create a new report, we'll go into report design. And that brings us to this page where we can either select a report that we've already created from this drop-down menu, or what we're going to do is click New, and we'll create a new report. I'll call it Report Comments Video. Click OK. And then that brings us to the report designer screen. Now this has three main areas. There's the toolbar up at the top here. This is where you can select the different elements that will go into your report design, where you can select charts or grids, alarm and events objects. And this is also where you can adjust the font size, the text formatting, the alignment, that sort of thing. Below the toolbar is the layout pane, and that's where the different objects that you add to your report show up and where you can arrange the different elements. And to the left of that is the properties pane, which when you click on one of the elements in your report, the different configuration options for that element will show up in this properties pane. So to get started, we're just going to create this very simple layout. To start, it's just going to be one grid. So I just clicked on this grid icon, and it automatically inserts this grid object. It's just a generic image. The same image shows up anytime you add a grid to your report design. So now to configure that grid, we just click on it, and then that brings up the properties, the overall properties for the grid itself. And I'm just going to leave all of these as they are now. I'm happy with all of them. The main thing to look at right now is this sampling interval. It's set at 1 hour, and that's what we want. That's good. So when we hit the Add button above the Properties pane, that's going to add a column to the grid that we just created. And you see when I clicked on that, it brings up this extra little box, and these are the configuration options just for that column within the grid. So this first drop-down menu is where we select the tag that will show up in the grid. And at the very top, when you click on that down button, it automatically brings up a search bar. And this makes it really easy to find different tags. You can either search by the tag name, or you can actually put in a plain language description of what you're trying to find, and it will match up with the tag name description. So it makes searching pretty easy. So if I just type in airflow, it automatically filters all of the tags that have airflow in their description. So I'll just choose the first one there. I'm going to leave the sampling mode at average. So that means because the grid is set to a 1 hour sampling interval and this column is set to an average sampling mode, I'm going to get the average value for each hour in my grid. So everything's set up there. Now the important thing after you add a column is to hit this update button at the top. If you don't hit update and you end up clicking back in the layout pane, you can actually lose the work that you just did. So it's important to hit update and then click save at the top. That'll save the whole report. Okay, now we can go back to the reports page just by clicking on the reports button at the top. And then this takes us back to that first screen that we were on where the report viewer lives. So now we want to choose the report that we just created. So we go to this drop down menu, we find the report name, Report Comments Video, click on that. Now I want to choose, I've actually already selected this date here, so we've got midnight at on September 2nd, 2009 to midnight of September 3rd, 2009. So we're going to get a 1 day chunk there. And we just click send. And it'll take just a second to go retrieve the data from the historian, render the report, and there you go. So that's all of the hourly averages for that one tag. You see in this left-hand column we have the time. It's each hour within September 2nd, 2009. And then on this right-hand column we have all of the hourly averages listed there. Now, if we want to add a comment, say one of these numbers looks funny to us, we want to make a comment to explain why it looks a little weird, we just go to this comments and review portlet on the right side of the screen. We hit add comment. And now there's two ways to do this. The first thing we have to do is we go to this refers to drop-down menu, and this is where we select the tag that the comment will actually apply to. And within this drop-down menu, it will only display the tags that are actually already in the report. So in this case, we only have one tag. So there's only one option, so we choose that. And then in this from and to, in these fields, that's where we select the time range that our comment will be applicable to. So I'm just going to say that it's 5 a.m. So we just click the 5, hit done, and then I'm going to change this date so that it's September 2nd as well. And then we'll say it goes to 6 a.m. Now here's where you have a choice. You can either enter in a comment manually. I'll show you how that's done now. Let's just say there is an equipment malfunction. I'll just say it's for demo purposes. And now that's all there is to it, and then you just click save comment. And then your comment shows up right away. It shows who created the comment. In this case, I'm logged in as the e.RIS administrator. So that shows up. It shows the time range for which the comment applies. It shows the tag, and it shows the comment itself right there. Now I'll show you the second way to add a comment, which is to use the pre-configured comments that you can create those if you have administration privileges. You can create these pre-configured comment templates in the administration options. So we'll do the same thing. Select the tag, select a time range. I'll say 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then instead of just typing in the manual comment in this box, we can actually go to this drop-down menu, and I've already created two different comment templates. So I'll just choose this one that says power outage, and when you choose that, it automatically puts in the corresponding pre-configured comment. So it just says the system experienced a power outage. And then we'll hit save comment. And there you go. So now both of those comments show up on the right in this portlet. And anytime you create a report now that uses that tag with those time ranges, those comments will show up. So it's not just specific to the report, it's specific to the tag itself. So now I'll show you how you can actually have these comments show up in the report itself. So right now we're just seeing them on the side, but when you look at the report viewer, all we see is the grid and not the comments. So we'll go back into report design, and then it automatically brings us back to the one that we just created. So I'm going to go into this layout pane. I'm going to move the cursor down a little to right there, and then I'm going to add another grid by clicking on grid. So now you see we have two grids. I'll click on the second one, and then here where it says grid type, defaults to tag grid type, but I'm going to click on that and change it to comments, and then I'll hit the update button, click back on the grid, and you see now it's been reduced to just these two options. And we'll just leave this page break drop down where it is. So now everything's set up there. We just hit update, click save. Now go back to reports, and when we scroll down we see that this new grid has been created, and it's got the same comments that we had created before. It's got this equipment malfunction one and this power outage one. It's got the name of the operator who created the comments, the e.RIS administrator in this case, and the date ranges that it's applicable to. So that's all there is to it, to adding comments to your report design. So I hope this tutorial was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.